I don't agree within an emergency situation that thing caused this to have no water for the homes, and the fire is burning up the place.
What you're going to see right now is a person angry, but he needs to speak calmly, and he just could not. And they tried to use that into a gotcha moment.
My name is Aimoku Chi. I am actually a resident of Kuholilea in Kahoma in Lahaina. My family has been in Lahaina from time immemorial, as far as I understand, from my ancestry. The original homestead for our family was on Prison Street, and it was a Kuleana tract that's still in our family down there. I understand it's burnt down. My grandfather's house, which was in Kilauea Mauka, is also burnt down, that my cousins lived in, and my aunt's house is burnt down in that very same area. They are all homeless. I think some of them have gotten into hotels, but they're all looking for need, you know, in that place. My family, I'm speaking on behalf of the Maialua family, because that's our family from Lahaina. We basically want accountability of people who are responsible for this. So we have questions in regards to the electric company, why they never turned off the power that day, and they should be held liable for this. People should be held liable for this because this is gross negligence. This should be standard operating procedure that power should have been turned off. And people's lives have been lost because of that. Fortunately, in my family, we haven't lost anyone immediately, or my cousins and things like that, but many other friends have lost their family members. And so we want accountability of people, that electric company, the police. Why did the police block people from coming and exiting? They had lines of people lined on Front Street. We heard testimony from people on top of Facebook that said, and things that said that basically the police was blocking the road over there by Chart House, and that the lines was not down from Wahikuli yet. And hundreds of people were backed up there with people in their cars, and a lot of people lost their lives, from what I understand. And why is not the police officer that was over there? He should be investigated. That wasn't the only place, Kilauea Mauka, where Halemaha'olu burnt down. I was told by people who escaped there on foot that the officer had blocked the road. People could not get out. My brother literally had to go cut the chain off of the old sugar mill camp area to let people out at the top of Kilauea Mauka. And that's how people got out, because the roads were all blocked, because the police were blocking it. This is what I'm hearing. And we want accountability. It needs to be investigated by a third party that is not associated with the government.
Out of all the points that he made, that was very good points, I think this is one of the smartest things that he said.
That is not associated. Investigators should come in and they should look at this. Right now there's gross negligence, possibly criminal negligence on this part. People in Lahaina are angry, like other people have testified. We don't trust the government because of what has happened. I'm an attorney myself. And I question, there's so many things that are questionable that has happened here. And we want the trust to be restored in the government situation. And we need to have clarity, transparency on all these things. We were blocked out from coming back into Lahaina. I was blocked out several days. I could not come in. There was chaos. People was rioting at the stops. People told us it was fires, but my cousins told me it actually was riots going on over there.
And that is the condescending part. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, my ass. I think it should be illegal that when somebody loses so much that you can't just say, you know what, come talk to us in 3 minutes and say your pain. I don't agree with that. And he is going to explode.
Craziness in the beginning. Now it's all kind of settled down, but we still don't trust the government. We're wondering what's on those documents for FEMA. You know, and I'm like, I don't know what's on the documents myself. And my cousins are asking me what should be signed, what shouldn't be signed. I said, I haven't seen any documents. I don't even know. And we're afraid to sign documents because right after that, the governor says, oh, I'm going to take the land, right? He's talking about the state wants to purchase all this land and come in and open it for the working class and also work for memorial and things like that. Who the hell does he think that he should get this land? This land belongs to the people already.
Okay.
The government is liable for this, grossly negligent, at least if not criminally negligent, right? And they should clean up all that land, restore that land to the people who own that, because they failed here. They failed. The government failed.
Okay.
And then the last point is this. The water and the issue with that water, why all that water wasn't coming down that mountain. From what I understand, they had to go ask the Kalo farmers up the mountain about that. There's been arguments in Lahaina about water. I'm Hawaiian. I grow Kalo. I agree with water being supplied for Kalo and all that. But in one emergency, there's no excuse that the water didn't come down that mountain and that the sea worm held that back. And if Hawaiian families are responsible for that too, because of their pressure on the government, they should be reviewed for that action too. And they shouldn't have to say that they had to the point where it destroyed all of Lahaina. That's the other side of it. Because we're hearing half of Lahaina that agrees with this stuff, and the other half, now we speaking up because our families are suffering from it, from those policies. And we need to start looking at those policies seriously. And like I said, I'm a Kalo farmer. I grow Kalo myself for my family. I also live off the land. I'm on land that has water coming down that valley. And I'm off the grid. But I don't agree within an emergency situation that thing caused this to have no water for the homes, and the fire is burning up the places. And it's not West Maui land's fault.
Okay, well, you raise very good questions, but we have other testifiers as well.
Thank you. And we want accountability. We want accountability. Lahaina wants accountability.
Thank you. We have a question for you. Sir, can you come back? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Aloha, Mr. Chi. Mahalo for your testimony and for expressing that rage. My question is it your understanding that the Launiupoko irrigation system is connected to our fire hydrants that would have been used to put out?
From what I understand, and I'm not sure if my information is accurate, because it all comes through family and cousins, all right? I was told that West Maui land ordered the water to be taken so that it could go into the hydrants. It could go. And that the person from Seaworm actually said, oh, you got to ask permission from the Kalo farmers first before you do this. But West Maui land was like, no, there's an emergency and we don't care what happens. We want that water to go because there's a fire, there's an emergency, and it needs to do. And we'll deal with the fines later, from what I understand. That's what I was told through the grapevine. I don't know if that's official or not. So it's not West Maui land's fault. They were told, you got to go ask the people up in Kauaula first if you can go get the water out of there. That's ridiculous. That Seaworm should actually say something like that in the middle of an emergency.
I understand.
Seaworm is responsible, but the families that also put the pressure on Seaworm for this stuff over the past decade should be held accountable for this now. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. It's an emergency. People need water. That's common sense. Open the water. That's what the water people
for your clarification, Mr.
Right?
Chi.
Yeah.
The diversion is not connected to the fire hydrants.
No,
and
but
the helicopters, I understand what you heard. I heard the same thing.
The whole reservoir up there was...
This lady is pissing me off because I'm like, even if that is not true what you're saying, why the heck did we have that source saying that the water is freaking holy, we need to permission, we need to care about diversity, even if what he's saying is not true? Somebody blocked it, lady.
Mission is responsible per our authorizing statute to protect and manage all water resources in the state. One Water is like taking it and looking at it from a holistic system perspective, and that's not any different than how Hawaiians traditionally managed water. You know, in essence, we treated Native Hawaiians treated water as one of the earthly manifestations of a god and a kua kane. And so that reverence for a resource and that reciprocity in relationship was something that was really, really important. If we can start to really look at how we as humans in an island can reconnect to that traditional value set. So really my motto is always like, let water connect us and not divide us. Like we can share it, but it requires true conversations about equity.
You know about it. You dress like those people that are in powerful position, and you're telling me you don't know? It's always sending the people, maybe a lady, because certain people are afraid to scream at a lady, just like Greta Thunberg or something like that. And oh, but you don't know exactly where it's coming from, so let me tell you, we were not responsible. No, I don't want to say something bad.
The fire department could not allow choppers to take water from the reservoir because of the 80-mile-per-hour winds. So And,
Well-
and I know you know that the CWARM deputy director is not more powerful than the governor. So if the governor wanted it, the governor could have ordered it.
I'm not blaming
Yeah?
Okay, let's not have a
Mohammed.
Mr.
debate.
Kaleo for this thing. I don't know. I don't know all the facts. All I know, this is what's being said in Lahaina. We want accountability.
I
We want
understand.
your message clearly put out and the facts put out so we know what we're really dealing with. Because I don't want lies either. You
Mohammed,
understand?
Mr. Chi.
I don't
Yes.
want lies from either side. We want the truth. That's all we're asking for. Okay?
Mohammed, Mr. Chi.
So I don't want to accuse people of things wrongly.
Yeah,
and
I
if you
know.
have the answers, put the answers out there.
Absolutely, I
And we
absolutely
encourage that.
agree with you.
Okay.
And that's why I asked for a clarifying question, because in your testimony, you did accuse him. So I just wanted to share.
He is saying that we need to have permission. So that means somebody had authority of something about bringing the water. He has a gotcha moment. Let's talk about the fire hydrant that went to the plane that can bring water in a storm, which I would agree with that. But at the same time, somebody blocked it. One of the officials said, we need to control the water. Everybody needs the water. Somebody might be burning, but maybe diversity, somebody needs the water somewhere else.
We can share it, but it requires true conversations about equity.
The police have blocked off people so they then cannot go at home and help people in a specific way. No, keep them here. You know, kids were at home because it was a day that most kids were sent home, and that was also a priority. You didn't sound the alarm because the alarm is only for volcano stuff. I'm like, yo, you told people to jump into the water because it's too hot in a storm. And you found a bunch of bodies all the way to another island. I don't know, people, there's so many things. And I don't like people that speak as if they're speaking from a practice formula, or like they practice in a mirror, and be like, hey man, I think you're wrong because you spoke passionately, but now you're doubtful and you spoke more than 3 minutes. There's more people. I care also about those other people. I got the model points.
And,
Well-
and I know you know that the CWARM deputy director is not more powerful than the governor. So if the governor wanted it, the governor could have ordered it.
I'm not blaming
Yeah?
Okay, let's not have a
Mohammed.
Mr.
debate.
Kaleo.
There's something weird about this, but that is just my take. Because on another island in St. Martin, it happened too to us. Big storm disconnected everybody, I believe, in 2018. And guess what? The Dutch people were like, you're part of my colony. We're gonna come help restore the whole freaking island beautiful good with transparency. These people ain't helping with transparency. And I wish the people of Maui good luck, blessings, praying. I know a lot of people say that's nothing, but other than that, I think they will get at least something compared to what you're giving right now because you're not transparent. Especially when people say, well, we're going to help by buying your land.